Hello and welcome to Freedom Through Astrology, where we're giving you the keys. You can see my camera is still messed up, so I'm just going to minimize that, stick it down in the corner. And this is freedomthroughastrology.com. I'm your astrologer. My name is Donald Patak. There's my contact information, standard YouTube copyright. And I apologize for this being way later than I want to get these out on Sunday, but I was floored with a brutal migraine from either the nor'easter that was hitting the East Coast because I am pressure sensitive, or sunspots, or a combination of thereof, and whatever else. So some of this is already past, but I think we can still learn from reflection. So I'm going to do it as a full weekly forecast. And keys to the reading. First of all, I read astrology differently, and here's how. I do constellation-based astrology, sometimes called true sidereal. Fancy way of saying astrology by the visible sky, because in ancient times, astrologers were astronomers and they read the planets in the constellations where they were. Tropical astrology fixed the signs to seasons. Hasn't looked like that in a long time. So I'm reading this astrology the way I believe the ancient astrologers would have read it. And in doing so, in the zodiac belt, this gives me 13 signs to work with. Between Scorpio and Sagittarius, there is another sign called a fucus. It's a symbol of the wounded healer. The symbol is that I have a person holding a snake by the head and the tail. The snake in ancient times symbolized knowledge, holding it by the head and the tail, control of knowledge or use of knowledge, and using it ideally to heal yourself so you can heal others with similar wounds. That's the sign that was removed. And I do use the natural size of the constellations because Mother Nature, Gaia, whatever you believe in her wisdom, and when the physical universe was created, made them all different sizes. Virgo in her full glory is just under 50 degrees. We'll be dealing with Libra and Scorpio. Libra this week, Scorpio next week. Neither one of those are bigger than 25 degrees. So my constellations, all different sizes. And from my training with Athen Shementi, I learned about astrological midpoints because he was zooming in actually on, I can't remember what program it was, but he was zooming in and he got to the IAU boundary and he noticed that it put stars from Scorpio into a fucus. Well, stars from Scorpio should be read with Scorpio. So he looked at the zodiac belt, last bright star of Scorpio, first bright star of a fucus. What's the halfway point? And made that a new boundary. I like it. It feels a little bit more accurate to me. So I do use those midpoints as opposed to the IAU boundaries because those boundaries are kind of arbitrarily drawn. Keys to the reading part 2, and this deals with interpretation. First of all, I read what's called evolutionary astrology, meaning that the planets and signs, even in the houses, are lessons to learn. They're offering you an ideal outcome and what I call the shadow, which is you decide not to or take a different path. You have freedom of choice. Some astrologers are very fatalistic in the way they interpret it. This is going to happen and you just deal with it. I believe in a high road, low road. So I will always offer you the choices. This is the weekly edition. So these are universal lessons for all your fellow ground travelers here, or earth travelers. So do have some compassion on each other. My dates and times are based on the Eastern U.S. time zone, as I do live outside of Buffalo, New York. If I really felt ambitious, I could probably walk there. Not happening. And I'm operating within 1 degree of being exact. That makes it manageable. Some weeks there's fewer, some weeks like this week there's a whole lot. But if I operated within a wider, what they call orb, like this week's would be so overwhelming that I would be confused and you'd be completely lost. So I'm working when the transit will be the most intense and you'll be most aware of it. And the software that I use is Capricorn by Prometheus. So our weekly transits, this is just a summary for the week of October 13th through the 19th, 2025. We do have the sun in Virgo still. Gonna be carrying it here for a long time. The moon begins the week in Gemini and ends in Virgo. And this is gonna be kind of interesting because that helps to flavor the theme of the week, which I'll cover in a moment. And we do begin the week on Monday with the last quarter moon in Gemini, and that actually is exact around 15:10 Eastern time or 3:10 in the afternoon Eastern time. And we do have a sign change. Mercury is now entering Libra, and we'll cover what that means. And that plus with that moon energy starting the week and ending the week, those two signs are ruled by Gemini, plus the fact that Mercury has the most transits this week. Or yeah, I believe the most transits. If not, I think it's tied with Venus, but all this other stuff makes it much more influential. Our dominant theme of the week is going to be Mercury lessons, learning, communication. How well are you listening? What are you saying? You know, things of that nature. So, number one active planet this week, Mercury, learning and communication. Kit just had a litter of kittens. Joys. Okay. Secondly, Venus, relationships, your ability to get along with other people, empathy, build harmony. Venus also does creativity, rest, recreation, having fun, things like that. Third most is going to be the sun, your core identity. And fourth is Mars, learning courage. Those are the inner planets. And in our outer planets, Uranus is still doing his own thing, marching to the beat of his own accordion because he can do that. So he still has those transits to both Neptune and Pluto. Yeah, those are the three outermost planets, just saying we're going to show everyone how it's done. And we add Jupiter this week. We haven't had Jupiter acting as a trigger in a long time. So we do have Jupiter. And retrograde, we do have Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Chiron all going retrograde. Pluto, I forgot to put that in here, but I should have. Pluto is moving station direct on Monday and should by all means be over with on Tuesday, I believe. I have to get to my notes. There we go. And so here we go. Let me get my doodle tool going. And as you can see, this is from last week. Yeah. Anything above this dotted line is old transits. Anything below is new. As you can see, there is a ton happening this week. So let us start first of all with the moon. You can see the moon is actually steady and stable this week. Well, about as steady and stable as a Leo moon's going to get. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into early Saturday, we have a Leo moon. But again, if you know how to work with the energy, it can be very stabilizing. So emotionally, we do have Gemini, curiosity, Cancer, nurturing yourself, Leo, self-expression, being appreciated, and then Virgo, upping your skills emotionally. From last week, not a lot. We still are dealing with these long Uranian transits, and we do have Pluto going station direct, but with these new week, let's see, where is it? Right at the end of the week, we do have those three Mercury transits, plus this, plus, like I said, the influence of the moon. Both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. So it's going to be a very strong mercurial theme to this week. Do pay attention to it. And we do have the last quarter moon in Mercury as well. So if you need icing on the cake, there you go. We do have Venus, number 2. And Venus is going to trigger what I call what is called a grand trine. And I'll explain that when we get there. So again, Venus is going to be a very powerful influence as well. This is a pattern where Venus, I'll show it. I can get it there. And then we have right here, Sun and Jupiter, fire signs actually. It's fire planets, the Sun being, of course, fire, and Jupiter plus fire. This is going to create another pattern, a T-square. And again, when we get there, I'll explain it. But just an incredible amount of pattern energy. And then on top of that, we do have the nodes of the moon and Mars there, and we do have the nodes of the moon with Mercury. So this week is going to be very power-packed and intense. There's a lot going on, a lot to work with, a lot of balls to juggle. If you want an analogy, that's literally what you're going to be doing. So with that being said, let me clear all this. Yeah. And our holdovers, we do have Uranus retrograde in Taurus, sextiling Neptune retrograde. They're both retrograde. This is internal work. How is your authenticity creating an interest in your spirituality? So this is you being true to yourself and finding that inner peace and that inner stability, and how is that helping you define your spirituality, and also how is that helping you to learn to be present and in the moment and potentially respond to situations in an authentic way. Yeah. What in the world? I really should put my phone on do not disturb. Okay, sorry about that. But we do have that. So, learning who you are at heart does help you. And awareness of your individuality and the individuality of others helps you, find a sense of unity. Neptune in Pisces, don't just do something, be there. I like the way Stephen Forrest says that. You're really learning to be present and in the moment, and you're responding as an authentic person. Now, the shadow here, Uranus, can either sell out or act out. In any way, it's a lazy way out. Um, Shadow of Taurus can be laziness, but Taurus can also be the bull in the china shop. The Taurus, they got a slow temper, but man, when that thing explodes, it explodes big. But nonetheless, being inauthentic, and how is that creating a fantasy, illusion, delusion? How is that creating confusion? I don't know if I could get another rhyme in there, but being this false person can have you feeling alone and isolated. And that's going to go in between now and December. It actually started back in August and will be running to December. Should be getting an exact on that sometime soon. And back in August, this will be ending soon as well. Uranus and Taurus trining Pluto. They're both retrograde. I have to fix that up. Okay. Just checked on the kitten a little bit. I don't want to shine too much light in there. Kid is not liking light. But we do have Uranus and Taurus, again, being that authentic person and finding the peace, strength, and stability that comes with that. And how is that helping you with your inner transformation, your inner healing, and doing the work of that healing? Is that? I wonder if she was huge. There was 3 kittens. Holy cow. Are you carrying more, girl? You need to get in there. I know they're a little overwhelming. But nonetheless, how is being authentic helping you with inner healing and inner transformation? And how is that helping you, finding that peace, helping you to do the work? And doing that and being that way can help you, my quote, my notes here say reclaim energy, recover, help with soul recovery. I have done some reading that suggests that Pluto, that deep work, could be helping with doing deep soul work and deep soul recovery. The shadow here, this pointless rebellion or selling out, can actually inflict deeper wounds. Trines are easy energies to work with. So a little bit of energy goes a long way. A little bit of authenticity goes and helps with some really deep healing. Being really fake causes deep wounding. And that's whether you're acting out or selling out. Really, you're hurting yourself first and the most. And that can deepen isolation and loneliness. Ending on Tuesday, which is the day I'm recording this. It took me all day yesterday on Monday to even get the newsletter out. This is Pluto going station retrograde. So if you feel kind of stuck in this journey, of inner transformation, of doing the transformation, doing the work of transformation. This is why. This is the coffee break. Take a break, pause, take a moment, and just realize where you are in the work you're doing, and know that it's time for you to re-enter. And it can be hard work, it can be challenging work, but it's work that's worth doing. And creating that inner persistence can help you with persistence helps you build self-discipline and helps you do that deep healing and heal your personal values too. I think one of the I don't talk about it enough, but Capricorn does deal with your values in a way, and I think transforming your values and doing the work of it. But shadow here is slipping into a cynical or nihilistic attitude to result in feelings of isolation, loneliness, and bitterness. Life can seem like a self-created prison and a sentence to be served in total loneliness. This is you've created. That's 3 kittens. This is you putting yourself in solitary confinement. All right. And last but not least, from Sunday, we have the moon entering Gemini. Moon entering Gemini, emotional curiosity. Let go of old ideas and open up to new information and insights. Expect information from anywhere. Be open and up to surprises. Things are not always as they seem. Don't judge a book by its cover. We all know it, but how often do we do it? Being distracted and being scattered with your focus can help you feel disorganized, purposeless, and lead to you feeling lost. And not paying attention means missing opportunities. From Monday, Venus in Virgo is opposite Neptune retrograde. This is a relatively fast transit, actually. And remember, Venus deals with relationships, your creativity, recreation, having fun. But in opposition's a time of reflection. Neptune being present, your spiritual journey. How is your being with others helping you with your, reflect on that? How is being with others helping you on your spiritual journey, helping you with your creativity, helping you with having fun or just chilling out? It's also a time of balance too. Oppositions can be balanced. So there's that. Yeah, how are they helping you find a sense of harmony and unity? And especially with Neptune retrograde, this is inner harmony. And you feeling a sense of inner unity with yourself, with others as well. The shadow here, Venus, is slick, manipulative, lazy, and this can lead to imbalances. The shadow of the opposition is imbalances, and your life can get caught up in a swing set of self-deluding fantasy. Relationships can be shallow, empty, and self-criticism create the image of a self-made martyr. You can very much make yourself try to make yourself look like the victim here. And it just turns into I'm not say a horror story because it's not, but it's deluding. You're self-delusional here. In the afternoon, we do have the last quarter moon in Gemini, which is the sun in Virgo squaring the moon in Gemini. So the sun in Virgo is you learning to improve yourself, become more skilled. Moon in Gemini here is that emotional curiosity. So how is this emotional curiosity strengthening? Letting go of old ideas, grabbing onto new ones. How is that strengthening your core idea and helping you to become a better version of yourself? How is that helping you heal and strengthen who you are at heart by letting go of old ideas? Also, learning new insights can help you pay attention and focus on being improved. These whatever emotional insights you gain can help you become a better version of yourself. The shadow here, and remember, squares are about strengthening. So this emotional insights are helping strengthen who you are at heart. The shadow here is that square becomes a crushing burden, and this being emotionally distracted, pulled in many different places all at the same time, becomes a crushing burden and can drag you down in an endless cycle of worry and feeling lost about who you really are. And Monday, and I kind of drew this in, but I'll talk about this when I get all the transits done. We do have Venus and Virgo trining Uranus retrograde. So as you're working with other people in your relationships, or you're becoming more authentic in your creativity, or yeah, that would tie into with Uranus, or you're learning with your creative skills, etc. How is that supporting you becoming more authentic in who you are? So as you're working with other people, how are they helping you realize who you are at heart? And how is that helping you find that peace and inner strength? Deep experiences with others can help you see who yourself as an individual and help support finding inner peace. Trines are supports. They're easy energies to work with. Little goes a long way. The shadow here, Venus, talked about it, playing games. And in Virgo is just being that's unrealistic expectations. Ideally, Virgo helps you to become better. But when you get into the shadow, it's perfectionism and holding yourself up to unrealistic expectations. And so playing games and trying to fit in or be someone that you are not come across as fake leads to a loss of individuality. That's the shadow of Uranus and Taurus. Whether acting out or selling out, you're being fake, and loss of that identity and trying to control others can lead to a loss of your own freedom. Crippling pessimism and negativity can lead to a narrow and rigid mindset, leaving you feeling stuck. And we do have, I'm just going to draw this in, 2/3 of this grand trine. We will get the third one shortly, and then I'll pull everything together for you. Monday, yeah, Mars and Libra is trining the North Node in Aquarius. It's trining and sextiling, but we'll talk about this again. Trying that support, little energy goes a long way. Mars and Libra, the courage to accept ambiguity, things, the strength to tolerate ambiguity, things not making sense. That's okay. You can deal with it. How is that supporting the North Node, your destiny and your making in your authentic path as you're working on it? The North Node is, in evolutionary astrology, at least my current understanding, is your destiny and purpose of life. When it's in Aquarius, it's you making it truly your own and unique to you. So as you're having this courage to deal with ambiguity, it's helping you to make that destiny your own and personalize it. The shadow here is when you slip into fear and indecision and getting pulled this way and that, or with angry outbursts. Um, uh, you can slip into being, you can try to be someone that you're not, whether it's acting out or selling out. Remember, Uranus does rule Aquarius, and so they're very similar in that respect. Can have you lose sight of your purpose and settle for somebody else's vision for your life. So that fear derails you from your own path, and feelings of codependency can fuel your becoming fake. And Tuesday, here we go. This is Tuesday. We're sort of catching up. This is that grand trine that I was talking about, because we'll have Venus trining Uranus, Venus trining Pluto, and then Uranus trining Pluto. And this is a grand trine. So like Venus is feeding and all this energy, really. I'll explain that at the end. But Venus trining Pluto, how is working with others helping you to face and heal old wounds or face your deepest fears? Building harmony or empathy for others can help you to reclaim energy. Having a desire to prove can help build integrity and a sense of achievement. Pluto is going to be going fully forward at the end of this day too. So this is really helping you doing that journey of deep work of healing. And a grand trine, what makes this a grand trine is we have Venus trining Uranus and trining Pluto, and Uranus is also trining Pluto. So these three energies are all like really feeding each other. And I'm going to say the most, what's receiving the most really here is right here, Pluto, this deep healing. And the other thing you're dealing with is these are all earth energies here. Virgo, Mother Earth, Taurus, the Earth, Capricorn, that grand, that mountain goat, climb, taking ideas or inspiration and climbing the mountain and making them real. But yeah, you have this earth energy, this solid foundation of authenticity. And then it's the earth here, the work. Virgo is a worker doing that work and becoming stronger in relationships and your ability to work with others. This all feeds Pluto, the healing journey, that deep soul work, and doing that deep soul work. And it's to be a very powerful and intense moment. The shadow here, and Venus gets slick and manipulative. And when you're doing that and you're being fake, it feeds deeper wounds. And you can feel isolated. At the end of the day, you can feel isolated, alone, caught up in just this rigid, materialistic worldview, and literally hold yourself with unrealistic expectations and leaves you feeling stuck. Yeah. And at the end of the day, where do you really feel lonely? Here are my drawings. Close. Tuesday, we also have the moon entering Cancer. Focus on emotional healing and let go of the wounds of the past. Look for quiet time and open yourself up to those who can help you heal. Pay attention, listen. You'd be surprised who can help you heal and who wants to. The shadow here, the moon, your emotional self can be whiny and in Cancer become defensive and snipey and drive away others and lead to feelings of loneliness and deeper wounding. Cancer is the crab and it has that shell, so it can try to hold itself up and hide away. And it's got those pincers and it can swipe at people. And finally, on Tuesday, we have the other half of the Mars and the nodes, where we have the Mars and Libra sextiling the South Node in Leo. Hold on a second. Yeah, one of the downsides of that migraine is a little bit of photosensitivity still. And I'm in a very dark room right now, and it's still, even with my computer monitor down, my eyes are still hurting. Sorry about that. Okay. So, this courage to face the ambiguity is creating an interest and helping you to be aware of how the South Node in Leo, pointless, you hold yourself down and back with pointless drama. That's the shadow. That's the ideal here. As you got courage to face uncertainty, you do realize, you know what? When I'm getting in certain situations, I tend to act this way. That's just pointless drama that's actually holding me down and back in life. Okay. I can learn to handle this in a different way with a more authentic response. It actually helps me on my journey. South Node, how you hold yourself back with the shadow of the sign. Now, when you fall into shadow here, when you fall into that fear and you become indecisive or pulled out of balance, the pointless drama rears its head up and it pulls you away from your authentic response, and instead you become someone fake. So yeah, slipping into fears, you can become insincere, being stuck in pointless dramas, and fear can fuel childish behaviors and dramatization of a false self and just lead to self-sabotage and a big mess in general. Finally, we're up to Wednesday, tomorrow. Mercury enters Libra. So Mercury, the ability to learn and communicate, enters Libra. Again, Libra, it can be uncertainty, but you're learning to find balance. There's more, how many different ways can you see a situation? We always like to see, always say black and white. Well, there is, when you mix black and white together, there is gray. And you can have a light gray, you can have a dark gray, and all those different colors, when I was in, you go into, an elementary art class, they give them a box with 8 crayons. There's so many different colors and different ways to color things and see situations. So ideally in Mercury, with Mercury's entering Libra, you're learning to see things from different perspectives. You're learning to communicate in different ways. Ideally, you'll find the best way to do it for yourself. And it can help you to, handle how you handle this uncertainty, help raise awareness. Oh, sorry about that. Can help you see situations from multiple perspectives, and opening opening yourself up to ideas to others can actually help you and help them. I like to say, this is my, I always write this out for people. We always know, we want the answer. 2 + 2 = what? Libra gives you the equation of x + y = 4. And how many different ways can you solve that? Yeah, lots. And we begin building the next powerful transit here. We're going to be dealing with that grand trine here. Okay, hold on. I'm feeling that kick in my head again. Okay, there we go. We have Jupiter and Gemini. Opportunity to learn and communicate is strengthening your ability with inner healing. And like I said, a square is a challenge that's designed to strengthen you. So as you're opening up to taking that opportunity and finding the confidence to accept new information and new insights, and explore. Yeah, Jupiter loves to explore. Rule Sagittarius, I would say that. So yeah, how does that help you with your inner healing, especially healing on that spiritual level or that deep healing? And how does it help you to release the wounds of the past? Hold on. Yeah, being able to open your mind can strengthen your ability to transcend the moment and release old wounds. Oh my gosh, it feels like kids carrying another kitten. How many kittens do you have in here, girl? Holy cow. Okay. And this is going to be a long transit. 15th, exact around the 27th. That's my current projection. And it will be leaving on November 4th. So this is going to be a long transit. There's a long opportunity to heal and release wounds. The shadow here, Jupiter is a crisis of confidence, and that leaves you being scattered and disorganized, and that becomes a crushing burden that leads to deeper wounding and a desire to escape. And this whole situation will just feed that crisis of confidence, whether it's too much confidence or not enough. Either which way, you're wounding yourself and hurting yourself. Also on Wednesday, the moon enters Leo. It'll be in Leo most of the week, actually. And this is learning self-expression and being willing to stand up, be seen, be heard. The lion wants to roar, and accept the opportunities to be seen and be appreciated, and by others, by what you do have to offer. And the shadow here is to be careful of being overly dramatic or playing to others' expectations. Also be careful of trying to hide away or underplay yourself, as it can be seen as fake. Leo can be that lion that's in the shadow. Leo can be that lion that just screams and roars, everybody look at me, excuse me. Or it can be the cowardly lion who tries to hide away. Either which way, emotionally, this leaves you feeling unfulfilled, and it's pointless drama. And here we go. And here is power transit number 2. And this is triggered by the sun. When the sun, that's the trigger planet, when the sun is opposite Chiron, I hope I did. I'm just going to read it anyways, just to do it really quickly. I think I did. When the sun is, as you're learning, as you're becoming a better version of yourself, it strengthens your opportunity to learn and the desire to learn. And, you're also reflecting on your healing. So as you're becoming better, how are you healing and releasing wounds? And I don't know why that didn't come up. It should have, because it is showing up as a square. Maybe it'll be in next week's, but in any event, it's gonna when I saw it, it said I got to talk about it. So I'm gonna talk about it. It may not be in this week's, but it's there. We're gonna feel the energy. Um, what happens here? This is a T square. The sun. You're reflecting on the journey of improvement and how is this helping you heal? And you have Jupiter squaring the sun and squaring Chiron, and or being squared by the sun, and Jupiter squaring Chiron. So I'm gonna clean this drawing up. It's ridiculous. So we have that opposition, ick, and we have Jupiter in a square to both. Ideally, this strengthens what's going to be. Jupiter's caught between a rock and a hard place. And ideally, what happens here is this strengthens the opportunity to learn and creates opportunities to learn, and strengthens your confidence. This whole reflection on healing ideally is strengthening your confidence and your self-confidence. The shadow here is you're holding yourself to unrealistic expectations, which creates deeper wounds. It can create a power struggle, and you can be looking at yourself and thinking, I'm never going to heal these wounds. You're only going to get deeper. I can't get better, which feeds a crisis of confidence, whether it's too much confidence or not enough, or say, I don't have to worry about these wounds. I can run a marathon on a broken leg and a sprained ankle. Like, try it. Go ahead. Let's see how fast you lose. Pardon my sarcasm there. But it feeds a crisis of confidence and damages your ability to learn and communicate. So there we go. And Thursday. Here we go on Thursday. There we go. That's Wednesday, Thursday. Mercury in Libra is trining the North Node. So we're actually just talking right now. Oops, come on, doodle tool. We're talking about this part of it. As you're learning to be more open-minded, how is that supporting this authentic journey? You remember, the North Node is your purpose or destiny in life. And in Aquarius, it's you making it your own and more personalized. How is being open to all this different information helping to support that personalized journey? So opening the mind to paradox and ambiguity can help you become more authentic in your pursuit of your life's purpose. And being curious and open-minded can lead to new ideas that can help you. The shadow here, being unfocused, distracted, and out of balance, and just all over the place, can have you becoming less of who you are, missing the point and purpose in life. And you can be doing what you think other people want you to do, or what other people have told you, and that just creates a big mess fast. Clear this? I missed something. Boy, did I miss something. There we go. And Friday, we add the other half, which is, oops, it did not. I really do need a new mouse. There we go. Again, how is being open-minded? How are you as you're taking a look at these new ideas, how are you becoming, and how is this creating an interest and awareness of how you held yourself back? It's like, hey, you got this new information, new idea. Whoa, wait. Oh man, I used to hold myself. That's how I hold myself back, and that's that old pointless drama rearing its ugly head again. And you know what? I can deal with that in a different way. So as you gain these new insights and ideas, it creates an interest in you getting over this old, pointless, meaningless drama, and holding yourself back with it and holding yourself down. So it's almost like you're creating more of an awareness of it. And these new information and these new insights that you're gaining from here, there, and everywhere is helping you to be able to leave these situations behind. The shadow here is getting out of balance, and you can be so open-minded that your brain falls out, or you can become so distracted and so disorganized that that old drama just rears its ugly head again and pulls you off your path and away from your purpose. And being like, what do I have here? Yeah, being mentally rigid and defensive can lead to reliving the problems of the past and playing it out in meaningless and childish drama. Insincerity can reign, mislead you and others on so many issues in life. Yeah, this is just creating a big mess fast. You know what I mean? That's right. You got to clear the doodles. Close. Close again. Thank you. Saturday, the moon enters Virgo. Like, we need more Mercury energy, but we're going to get it. It's Mercury rules Virgo. But yeah, moon, emotionally open up to opportunities and how to improve and learn new emotional skills. See this as a time to learn and accept responsibility for what you're feeling. Accept responsibility for how you're feeling and what you're feeling. The shadow here is you're being overwhelmed by worry or being too self-critical, and this can lead to pessimism, moments of inaction. It just drags you down fast. And on Saturday, our final transit, we have Mercury conjunct Mars in Libra. This is interesting, 18th, 20th, and 21st on this, yeah. It's exact early on the 20th, and then I think it leaves late on the 21st. That's why those dates are so close. But as you're getting this information and insights, it's helping you to find courage. How is being more open-minded helping you to find the courage to accept these uncertain situations? And how's it helping you to shift your paradigms and open your mind up and shift your perspective? And how's that helping you to get the courage to do that as well? Being assertive, defending your boundaries can work to strengthen your ability to work with these uncertainties. Yeah, healthy boundaries can be good for you, actually. But learning to have courage and be assertive. I don't know all the answers, but you know what? I can be open-minded enough to listen to these different ideas, and who knows, maybe something good will come out of it. The shadow, being scatterbrained, feeds to fear and indecision, and pulls your life out of balance, blinds you to what's going on in the world around you. And this mental confusion can fuel fear and uncertainty and just keep you going and out of balance. And then that leads us to Sunday. Take a breath. Remember to exhale. Repeat. We get a little pause before the new week starts. Yeah, there is a lot going on this week, a lot of energy, a lot to deal with. But you know what? As I tell people, you know what? The universe gives us to us divine, whatever you believe in, allows this to happen because it knows that we can have it and we can handle it. The universe never gives you a situation that you can't handle at some level. Some people are just learning to count, and some people are doing differential equations. Depending on where you are in life, that's good for you. So do take that breath. Remember to exhale, repeat, maybe watch some rugby, So do follow me on social media if you like this. I am on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's where you'll find this video, actually, most likely. So do like and follow me there. Also, there's the digital soul space. There's a free version and a paid version. Free version gets you limited access to the site. Full version gives you access to everything. And it's only like $1.99 a month. And you're saying, gee, that's a lot of money for some people. These organizations are making billions of dollars off of your data, and you are probably not getting anything. Digital Soul Space is hosted on the Mighty Networks, and they let you control your data. What gets shared, how it gets shared, and even, hey, you can share my data, but only anonymously so that they can't pin it to you. And it's Soul Space is really cool because I do astrology on there, but we have people doing crystals and tarot and oracle decks and a wide variety of spiritual traditions, from the First Nations and indigenous to Wicca, varying forms of witchcraft, Nordic myth, the Nordic mythos. What else? I've seen people talk about the Greek pantheon a little, I think. My mind's going all over the place right now. You got wonderful Mercury, but there's so many different things on here, and I'll potions, etc. You name it, it's on there, and if it's not, someone will answer for you. It's a safe space to go where you can ask questions, and everybody will welcome you. There's no trolls, no bullying. We got 4 moderators that make sure of that, and yeah, they have kicked people up. I haven't remember anybody being booed in a long time. So there's that. Readings and packages. If you want to see how your chart changes under True Sky Astrology, go with the quick 6. I hit 6 key points that become the foundation of the birth chart and the natal chart. But yeah, I give you 6 key points to help you get an idea, just to see how things are different in your full birth and natal chart. In evolutionary astrology, this is your birth contract. This is who you came to become. So it's not who you are. It's your end goal in life. So I'm telling you, like Stephen Covey says in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. Your birth chart is your end all goal. It's the person you came here to become. I also do a karmic or a past life reading. If it's a past life, this is a past life that you had that created trauma that you came here to heal in this life. If you believe in karma, it's just you have a one and done. This is a special lesson you came here to heal. But either which way, if there's a pattern that keeps reoccurring in your life, this can help you see what it is and help you understand how to heal it and release it. And I also do the horoscopes. I do yearly, any 12-month calendar months in a row, 3 months, any 3 months in a row, or 1 month, which I will do beginning of the month to the end, or new moon to new moon. That new moon cycle is, that's the natural order of things. And I do have packages which are at 4 different levels, which 4 different combinations, and they have a 10% discount built in, which is nice. So thank you, like, follow, share. On my website, when you go there, you get a pop-up that's for a newsletter. It's once a week where I send you all this information out in advance, ideally. And you get other insights as well that I don't normally share in the video, or that you will get first before the video is even released. And if you close that out, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a black box that says subscribe. Click on that, takes you to a page. All I need is an email address. It's a once a week newsletter. So thank you, like, follow, share, and remember, in the visible sky, your life changes. I apologize again for this being late, but it was that bad of a migraine. It's one of the worst ones I've had in months. Thank you very much. Have a great week.